So you've got this beautiful wall that you just built at home and you want to make some holds, because I know that buying holds like these here can be super expensive, but making these holds can be pretty expensive as well. The best alternative if you're making holds for your use on your home wall is going to be wood. You can make wooden holds with just about any type of wood material. I'm not going to talk a lot about the different materials that you can use or what's best. I want to talk about how to attach them in this video. First, I want to show you this guy. This is one of the first wooden climbing holds that I made out of plywood. And what I did is I took a regular washer, just like this, a 3/8 washer, and I set it down inside here. To do this, it's fairly easy. Take a 1-inch paddle bit, drill your hole using this first before the bolt hole goes in. Drill this down, then drill your bolt hole all the way through. The cool thing about this is that it is wide enough that you can use just a regular 3/8 bolt. Set that in there. You've got enough room for a socket to get in there and tighten it down. That's actually going to save you quite a bit of money on your bolts if you want to do that. Now the downside is you've got this giant hole right here that you can use as a thumb catch or its own hold. If it's your home wall, then and it's small, you can make your own rules and you can tell everybody that comes and climbs on it, bolt holes are off. If you want to do something that's a little bit nicer, this is a wooden hold with the same 3/8 washer that's set inside. In order to do this, you need to laminate 2 pieces of plywood together at a minimum. I like using 3/4 inch plywood because, well, I have a lot of the scrap laying around and it's beautiful when you carve it down and you see those contrasting layers that makes up the plywood. Once you have your pieces picked out, go ahead and attach them together and rough out your shape. Then I like to put a pilot hole where the bolt is going to go. After that, pull them apart, and on the back side of the top layer, you're going to go ahead and grab a drill and a paddle bit, 1-inch paddle bit, and drill a shallow hole that's just the thickness of the washer. Once you have that down, you can drill either a 5/8 or a 3/4 inch hole, and then glue your pieces back together. I'm using a Dynagrip glue here, but you can just use a regular wood glue. It is important though that you glue both sides to get good adhesion. Once you have that spread out, go ahead and put your washer in there and then attach the pieces back together. I like to use screws here so I don't have to wait for clamps and that glue to dry. Once it's back together, you can go ahead and drill your bolt hole and then finish carving the shape. And that hold is done. Now this is the absolute easiest way. I have another video that talks about how to do this. I will link it somewhere on the screen or down in the description on how to make this type of hold. I've been asked actually quite a bit how I attach this hold onto the wall. And when I originally made this, I wanted to use bolts. I was working as a setter with a wall that was a concrete wall, so we could not put any screws in it. So I put 2 bolt slots. And to make sure that nobody was using those bolt slots for an extra hold, I put a cover over the top of that. So let me show you how this works. Okay, so this is just a regular set screw that I used in here. But the top layer of plywood is cut out to accept my cover. The second layer of plywood is cut out, and you can see how it's curved here on the sides. I also left some space so I could get a screw down in there to hold the covers on. And then I just have a slot cut out so this bolt hole, or the bolt, can go in there and slide wherever I want that to be at. And I also set them on different planes so I could have a little bit more adjustability on how this sits on the wall. Now the back side, it's kind of a hollow back. There it is. And if I were to make this hold again in the future, or a hold similar to this, I might just make it a screw-on hold, like a volume is screw-on. So to do that, there's a couple of different options. You can just take a bit like this. It's a countersink bit. I have some snappy countersink bits that I absolutely love. They work great. I will leave a link down in the description for those if you'd like to get some. And it's super simple. You just put it in your drill and drill your hole. There's your set screw. Now, if you're using a softer wood like these that I have right here, this is a cedar. And if you just set a set screw into this, it will most likely just sink in that head. So to make it a little bit nicer, I bought some inserts from Escape. These inserts are originally designed for volumes, but I think that they will work great for us DIYers with these climbing holds. And I thought this was an original idea that I had until I saw a post about it on the DIY climbing holds page on Facebook. So we're going to go ahead and create this a screw-on using these inserts from Escape. You need a 9/16 inch drill bit. Sorry, it's not 9/16, it's a 9/32. Let me pull out this little card. Yeah, it's a 9/32 drill bit and a 1/2 inch paddle bit. So we're going to go ahead and start with our 1/2 inch paddle bit. And the reason why you want to start with the 1/2 inch paddle bit first is because you need to have this down into the wood so it centers that paddle bit. That in, I think I want to go right here. That's plenty deep. And we'll put another one right here. So right now I'm turning this upside down and setting it in there to see if this is deep enough to where it'll completely conceal that, and it does. Now we're going to put on a 9/32 drill bit. Wanted to take that slow so it doesn't rip up the wood. This is made from driftwood that I pulled out of the river behind my house. There's our professional climber.
I won 3 competitions and been second place once.
Yeah. Now we can just kind of press these inserts in. We're going to use the screws when we tighten this down onto the wall. We'll finish sinking those in. So there you go, several different ways that you can attach wooden climbing holds on your own climbing wall. If you found this video informational, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and let me know that you've liked it and it helped you out. Also, if you know anybody that could use this information, go ahead and share that with them. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time right here on Climber Dad.